Okay, Gemini, this is going to be the spiritual reading for the spring of 2025. I'm going to start out with the Gaia deck here. So the first card that we have for you, Gemini, is 5, 6, 7, 8 of Earth. Someone who is in great control at this time is the sense that I'm getting. We're feeling very grounded and centered. And I feel like we have earned some magical gifts from the universal flow here. And usually when we gain these, it's because we're standing in our truth or standing up for others' truth, but we can't get it without doing it for our own selves. And yeah, the sense of going forward, I feel like the universe rewarding you with increased insight in order to get you in the right flow. Now, I feel like we're quite happy at this moment, but I also feel that that is tied to all of these things that are opening up to us spiritually. So there may be an intense turning inward here that is really, again, the timing is perfect for this. I feel if we would have done this in the past, it would not have been so profound, but just because of how the frequencies are rising and increasing, the moment we turn in, it's a huge, profound thing that happens to us here. So this is what I'm getting. Well, that's good. You know, there's a mask here. And I feel like that was our former self, is what they said. And I feel like that's an evil self that we've released from. I feel like in our past, we had a sense of going outward in not so graceful energy. And we have now released that, learned our lessons from that, and therefore moving into a different frequency altogether. This is good. Good. It's like learning lessons from our past. Now, this is past energy. So as we move to the present, we have the scribe. Yeah, okay. The scribe is someone who logs in literally on paper. You may be a writer. You may be an automatic writer, which is someone who writes universal flow on paper, literally. You know, you may be a channel that, composes that right onto, papers. Yeah, you may be someone who's logging down their spiritual path in a journal or a paper or a notebook. There's something here where we are taking note and logging in everything that happens to us in this spiritual realm. So yeah, a note taker. They also are someone who can speak freely, but I get more note taking than I do speaking. But they're saying there's room for this in the future. So we may be note taking and actually formulate to make a book, and then go outward and speak to others. This is part of what's going on as well here. Hold on. There's more they want me to pull from this card. Yeah, higher realms are connecting to us, period. We had a mask in the past we were wearing, and even though I want to say evil mask, it wasn't an evil mask. It was just a misrepresentation of where we were, and we kind of knew it, but we were just kind of flying by the seat. And now I think we have, because we're so profoundly affected spiritually by something here. And again, this could be life-changing moments. We've literally logged it in. And because of this logging in, it is really helping us ground out in the reality that is now here. That if someone were to say in our past self, I went through this, that, and the other, they would kind of just brush it off. They wouldn't pay attention to it. Now this Gemini is paying attention to it because it's something that means something to them. They've been through it. They're moving through the cycles. Okay. So as we move into the future here, what do we get? Thought. 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. Thought. Yeah, usually when we're looking in this cauldron here, we're kind of reflecting or looking into things that are going on around us, taking closer inspection of stuff is what I'm getting. Now, I feel like this is all in line with where we've been so far spiritually. And it is, we're speaking from what now we know to be the truth. Whereas before we knew a truth and we spoke from it, but I feel like this truth that we're living now is more profoundly grounding in us than where we were. Okay, there's a vast difference between where we were and here now, and we have to represent that because we have to see that we've come a long way here, is what I'm getting. They want to reward you for coming a long way in your thought process, and you're a great learner, is what I get here. Okay. So there's a lot of thoughts, and I feel like the thoughts are to formulate how to go outward and tell others. And this is all part of the flow that they want you to do. Because if you can, and the thought here is, if you can profoundly learn this and take it in so gracefully, then so can others that think that maybe they even can't. Do you get what I'm saying? So as we move into the second row here, the chakra cards on top of the 8 of earth, again, I get a very self-assuredness and a happiness to be where we're at here. The old self, we may not have known ourselves good enough to stand up for ourselves in the past, is what they said. But going through that, we're proud of who we're becoming more solidly. Now, on top of that energy, we get the Devil card. Would you look at that? And look how similar it is to this 8 card, interestingly enough. Because she does have horns, but they're not sticking up. They're going forward. And they're made of trees and leaves, not horns and stakes. And she's holding a stake, and she's holding... I feel like we used to be in Devil energy. I really do. Yeah. And we've learned lessons here, and we've come out transformed. Wow. If we weren't in Devil energy, we had that stuff attached to us quite highly, is the sense. We may have had a lot of people around us in negative fields. Yeah, and took advantage of things, situations, people in that mode. But something here turned our page, okay? So the Devil energy... You could have a Capricorn in your life as well. Just give me a moment here. There's something, because she's holding the ball of light, and she's holding, she's holding the cup. But she seems lost. I feel like in the past, we didn't know what love was. Or we didn't know what was filling our cup. So we just stuffed it with devil stuff. That's what I'm getting. Because we didn't know any better. Like we just stuffed it with, it's an immaturity level on a spiritual plane is what I'm getting. Like an immature, we'll just throw it with this stuff. We're gaining, right? Because the devil energy is whenever we're in balance to a high degree that it's, causes problems. And here I feel like we've learned. So anyway, that's that. As we move on to the scribe, again, I get very much note-taking. We're taking note of this time in our life, whether it's to formulate a book or just to formulate memories so that we know this is where I was. This is the experience I had. This is what I felt, because things are so fleeting. And when you write it in a book, you can go back even maybe 2 years down the road and you go, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. And it would bring back memories and feelings and all of this. I feel like that's why this Gemini's doing is because they want to keep note of it and they want to look back on it. Whether it's a progress report, maybe we're doing things in our life progressively and we need to note take to do that. So it just is compiling in these areas, this kind of thing. On top of that, scribe, what is the chakra card we get? Knight of Swords. Both air energy. The scribe is air. Note-taking, truth-seeking, charging forward quickly as we do so. That's all I'm getting here. All I'm getting is going to the future. So if we had a tumultuous past where things were dicey, we are really trying to gain distance from that as quick as we can. It's really what I'm getting. Now, the thought process in the future, as we look into things, I do feel we're seeking knowledge. I feel like not only on the plane of existence here, but also in our spiritual side, we're trying to gain knowledge to find what resonates and whatnot. On top of there, we get the King of Wands. A Knight of Swords to the King of Wands. In this seeking of truth that we run so quickly and hurriedly into, I feel like we become very stable in a decision that we make as we go forward. I feel like we become more profoundly who we are from the inside, is what they're saying. But what that means is we've grown from a Knight of Swords to a king. And the Knight of Swords, all the knights, they're frantically moving to gain something. The kings, they've already gained it and they're sitting in their peace. And that's what I get highly here, is the energy that I'm finally where I want to be. I'm finally gained the knowledge. I feel the comfort in, and it may even just be within the self that I've got all my ducks in a row. I don't know if it's as simple as that. I think it's bigger than that. It's deeper than that, than just having your stuff together. Yeah. I feel like the Knight of Swords is moving into the King of Wands, and it's just this area where suddenly he doesn't have to chase things anymore. Things are coming to him because he is just resonating at the right frequency. That no longer do I have to chase things down, is the sense I get. So anyway, as we get into the next row here, on top of that past devil energy, what's the geometry card we get on that? Star of David, glory and perseverance. Perseverance. We persevered. There may have been devil energy around us. We may have invested in some of it ourselves. I feel not without a conscience. I think we knew what we were doing was wrong, but we just kind of maybe going with flow, or it was a phase we're in. We've grown out of it now and whatever. Like this is, we're in a new phase of life, is a sense. Yeah. We persevered through things that may have in the past brought us down. Okay. The scribe, again, note-taking about where we are in life at this time. And I feel this continuing into the immediate future anyway. The Knight of Swords is about quickly moving into the future to gain more information, is what I get. We're seeking more and more and more. Like we're kind of a thirst for knowledge, and it's the soaking phase where we're just really trying to gain all the knowledge we can so we can make the best decisions. And the King of Wands, he is a good decision maker. I see him as equal with the Emperor because, he's made a lot of mistakes in his past, so he knows where not to go because he's been there and he's made those mistakes. So the Knight of Swords, on top of that energy, the geometry card we get is a complex pentagon. I feel like right now we're in a phase of frantically going forward. We're going after that which we want to achieve. I feel we have no problems achieving it. I don't know that we have to rush, but nonetheless, that's the mode we're in. So I feel like because of this rushing energy, there is going to be some kind of a hiccup in the mix, but we end up in the same place no matter, is really the sense they're giving me. But it's going to be a bit of a complex ride. I feel like we're kind of forcing things a little bit. We are having realizations and frantically going forward when we could just stroll and still get there with the same amount of peace. or more peace even. So as we move into the future and the thought process here, the King of Wands, being quite sturdy in the self and being able to make decisions on the fly and good decisions that we're not going to regret is the sense I get. On top of that energy, we get the complex flower. I feel like we want our life a certain way. And we may have felt like we had some mishaps in the past that at one point we really thought we wouldn't be able to get our life the way we wanted it to be. But now we know that we can. So we're going to strive to make up for lost time. This kind of thing is what I get. There's a lot of weird angles here I'm picking up on in my mind. They're showing me like diamond shapes, and the sense I'm getting is okay, yeah, like you know how a diamond, it comes in rough right at first, is fine-tuning those things. I feel like we may even get to a point where things are pretty rough, but we're just going to be thankful for that roughness no matter. I feel like we may not be able to shine that diamond perfectly, but we know what it's made of. We know what that coal's got in the center, and we're going to, and it may polish over time. It may, I don't know what this diamond is a symbol of. It may be ourselves, like we're trying to polish ourselves up to be a certain way. And it's like, we know we're at the core, we're good. And, I may not do this right or this right or this right, but I still know at the core I'm good. And that is enough. That is enough. And somewhere, some way, somebody will see that in you and embellish that. And they may even crack that coal piece right up till you shine, or you just keep picking away at it over time and it eventually falls into that diamond. I say, like when they say a diamond in the rough, that's someone that needs a little work. Because they got some work to do, spiritual work or internal work. I feel like this is someone that wants to polish themselves up and they're trying to rush things. And again, it'll make for a bumpier ride. We're still going to end up in the same spot no matter. So just you rather take your time than go in bumbling, tripping all over yourselves. Yeah, I think that's what it is. This person is trying to perfect their spiritual selves, which is all a good thing, but they may be rushing too quickly or feeling a need to do so anyway. So the Isis card to land this sucker. What do you have? I'm just kind of buzzing here because I got to take a break from these readings. Temple of Carnelian, entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet. The carnelian is about self-love. It radiates an energy with the sacral chakra, and that can attach to areas where we feel self-worth and self-love to a degree that we don't have to go outward and seek it from others so much because we're radiating it quite high frequency. This may be something that was challenging in our past. We may not have trusted or felt a worth of self. Yeah, I get a sense this Gemini energy that I'm picking up on is going outward to gain that feeling that they should gain within themselves first, which is self-worth. I wouldn't say esteem worth. It's a feeling of high esteem within the self, enough that they don't have to take it from others. I feel like they were inadvertently taking it from others and not really realizing. That's what I get. And the carnelian will balance that out. They'll make you, one, see your own self-worth and the power of it. And in doing so, we have to go outward less to seek it in others because it is within us. So we do not need to go outward and grab it from others or take it from others unwillingly if we were in that devil energy. And the Star of David is also a religious symbol that symbolizes a higher power over us. And glory to that power for helping us along. Because I feel like this person at some point has bowed down, has on bended knee sat there and said, please, can you help me? And even though they may not, they may not, or they may be confused about who to believe in or what, or maybe they just don't know that there's something, I feel like it answered the call, whatever. And it doesn't really matter what you call it. When you need that help, it's there for you. If you believe that it's there in good form. So I don't know if this is someone who's changed religions to something that was false, from something that was false to something that now is pure, no matter, like from a negative to a positive, or disjointed religion or cult that, is posing as a religion, which is not. This kind of thing, I don't know if that was part of your path or not, but there's an energy field here of releasing from that which gave us a different trajectory, and we are now on the right road, and we feel like we got to make up for lost time. And even though that's not possible, we just go with the flow in the right way. We're not going to be left behind is the sense. We do know that that diamond is at your core. We do know this. We don't need to smash all the coal away in order to see it. We know it's there. So you just have to confidently build that within yourself. And I feel like that's where the Gemini's going. I feel like wherever they're speeding off to, that's where they feel they're going to get it. And they do. They do. There's a certain part of them that settles down. There's a certain part of them that matures in this spiritual way. And there's a certain part of them that is at ease in the immediate future here. And the Temple of the Carnelian, Sekhmet, is along with you for the ride. Now, I can't remember for the life of me, Sekhmet, what this Egyptian symbol, but maybe you should look that up, because they're in charge of something and they are behind you in order to give you strength in this way. And it may be something that means a lot to you or can explain a lot from the energy that it puts out. I'll put that up on my page when I do the readings, if I remember. Yeah. Sekhmet. I'm getting a high. They're going, the power of Sekhmet's transferring onto this Gemini. And I'm like, I can't remember the power. And they're like, get him to look it up. And then I will look it up, and put it on there. And that'll be your signpost. So it may be something deeply spiritual within you that means, gives you greater strength or whatnot from that realm of energy, of ancient energy. So Gemini, wow, that was a little bit of a trip. But you're releasing from the energy you should, and you're going quickly into the energy that you should. So it's all good. You're kind of, doing it in a way over zealous, but, you're still going there. So it's all good. Okay, Gemini, that is your spirituality reading for the spring of 2025. Take care, have fun, and be kind.